All right. So I believe we are live. Hello, everyone. Quickly let us know that if you can hear me and if my screen is also visible to you all. Shamla says hi. Good evening. Good evening, Shamla. All right. So I hope I'm. Yeah, good evening, Siddharth. Can you please confirm if I am audible and if you can see my. All right. Hello, Indra. Hello, Abhi. Sorry, Abhijanan. If I sorry if I am not pronouncing the name correctly. All right. So, as usual, we'll wait for a few minutes and then we will proceed with the class. Right? By the time, if you can, yeah, you guys can let me know that if you are enjoying this boot camp and all, right? And you know what else we should also come up with in the near coming future. And also, you can let us know that, yeah, you can let us know that if this is what day is this like for you all joining the boot camp, right? Is this your first day, your fourth day, fifth day, or what day is this? And are you guys enjoying this or not? Also, as I have told earlier that if you we guys would love to have more such boot camps, right? You can let us know about your favorite subject or your favorite topic on which you would want to have your next boot camp on. Yeah, that's really good. We'll definitely plan something great for you ahead. That's really good. That's really good. And also, guys, one major thing is that we are at the day 6 of the boot camp right now. Yeah. All right. That's a good suggestion, Corporal. So we are at the day 6 of the boot camp right now, and in the yeah, tomorrow we'll be having a small project session, right, wherein we'll be trying to sum up whatever we have learned till this point of time. Yeah, till this point of time, and we'll be trying to make a simple project out of it. Tomorrow you'll also be having a quiz, a small quiz based upon whatever we have discussed throughout the curriculum, and to all of you who would be able to who would be able to get roughly around 40% of the marks, right? In that quiz, they'll all be allotted with a certificate of completion. Yeah, that's really good. And in fact, JS is also one of my favorite topic too, right? We'll definitely plan to have a detailed boot camp on that, right? I mean, we have done a short boot camp on that already, right? Covering aspects of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in a whole week, right? But we'll definitely have to, we'll definitely plan a boot camp dedicated on JavaScript for sure. Rest, in case you have any other feedbacks and any other suggestions, you can let us know into the feedback form or in the attendance form that we share at the end, right? It has a feedback at the end, or it has a additional comment at the end. You can let us know about all your preferences over there. All right, that's really good, right? Now, I think we have gathered in, right? I think we can start with a quick discussion about what we were discussing earlier, and then we can move ahead. Yeah, about AI also, like we have done a project on ML, right? Earlier also, ML and AI, right? That is stock market prediction using that, right? Which which will tell you like kind of a predictions using AI and concepts of ML. Also, you can also check that out, and we would definitely plan more such detailed things onto that also. All right, let's start the session then. So let's first of all have a quick discussion around what we were discussing earlier, right? In this session, right? So in the last class we discussed about arrays, right? If I'm not wrong, in the last class we had a discussion about array. What are arrays? Why do we need arrays? And how can you initialize arrays? How can you, how can you access some values? And what are the fundamentals around using arrays, right? So that we have discussed in the last class. Now in this class, our major discussion is going to be around some simple or fundamental operations that you can get done in arrays in C, right? Obviously, we'll not go into the much depth, right? Yeah, we'll like see things on a superficial level because we have too many beginners with us right now, right? So we don't want them to bombard with the information as of now. So just a healthy discussion we'll be having on some topics, and we'll be trying to figure out, we'll be trying to write some codes in this same class only, right? So arrays, like what was arrays? Can you quickly tell us in the chat section, guys? What do you understand by the term arrays? Just quick answers. One word would also do it, or one statement would also do it. Just so that I'll feel like, okay, you guys are clear with the concept of arrays. By the time you are telling me that, right, because obviously there is a delay. So I'll quickly, introduce array using few sentences. I would say it is contiguous, homogeneous data, right? I mean, contiguous memory is allocated to homogeneous data, and it's basically a collection of data. Yeah, sequential manner or collection of similar elements. Yes. So you can conclude this using these two statements, right? Roughly around these two statements. That is about arrays, right? And in the last class also, we have seen a quick demonstration, right? A quick how we can initialize array, how we can work around with them. Let's quickly go over that. Let's quickly recall that, because this class will have to, look more into the depth of that. So that's why that is necessary for us to understand, to get clear with the fundamentals, first of all. All right. So how were we able to like add, how were we able to, just a minute. Yeah. How we did created an array, right? That was the first question we had. So in order to create an array, right, first thing you have to write is, how would you create a variable of A? You would create it using this, right? But since this is a collection of integer array, so what would you write is, you would write something like this, right? This square bracket represents array all the time, right? Whenever you write this, whenever you'll see this, you can understand that, okay, now we are talking about arrays, right? So this is about array, how we can declare it. And you also have to tell the type of the array in case you want to, say that I want this much number of elements in my array, because that is, you have to tell beforehand you are trying to execute your program. In case you'll run this, what will happen? Right? In case you will try to run it, what is going to happen? See, it will be saying that, array size is missing in this A, right? You have to tell the size, right, before your program is running. Unless you are not specifying the size, right, you'll face an error. Now, few people would say that, sir, in the last class we were able to create an array without giving a size, isn't it? I think somebody asked this question in the chat also, that we were able to create an array without giving a size, but how is this giving an error this time? So to answer that, I would say we didn't explicitly write the size in this angular bracket, but somehow we were giving it a size, isn't it? I was giving it some values. I was giving it maybe 3 or 4 values, and I'm saying that whatever number of values I'm giving it, please keep it that only. Please keep the size that only, because giving a size to an array is damn important, because the memory will reserve only that much spaces for you, right? Memory is limited. We have, right? We don't have unlimited amount of memory, so you have to tell the size specifically. Maybe you can say that I want an array of 5 size. If you run this, it will run very smoothly, right? It will not give you any errors in that situation. So that is one thumb rule that you need to follow, that you should be giving the, the size of an array. In case you don't want to explicitly write it, you can also directly start giving the values, and then it will automatically take the size. Yes, exactly. This is something you can do, but either ways you have to give a size, right? And this is how you can simply declare an array, right? But what if you want to access any value of an array? How you can do it? It's very simple. Just try to write it using this. Just try to write it using square brackets, right? And since this is a value also, we have to write format specifier, %d, and this, right? So it would be printing, what are we missing? Oh, we are missing a semicolon, silly errors. Yes, right? It will print the second value, not the first value, because the indexing starts from the 0th index and not from the first index, right? And the last index that we have is n-1 and not the n, right? So that is about the simple terminologies about using an array. Now, this class may, right, we have to implement some more complexities, right? We have to see more things around array. So let's start with a very basic operation, right? We'll not be going into the much of the complexities about bubble sort and all these other things, because some way or the other, right, they are a little much things to do, right? But still we'll just discuss the idea of that, right? So what we would be doing is, suppose the first operation I want to do right now over here is adding elements. Adding elements to array. So this is the first operation we'll be seeing, right? There would be multiple cases in that also, right? In case you want to add at start, right? This could be one thing. Second thing could be you want to add at middle. And third thing would be add at the end. So first operation is what we define values at that time. Yeah, we define values at that time. Yeah. So these are some operations, right? These are some simple things we can do, right? Now I want a quick, suggestion from you side is, what do you think? What would be the easiest of them all, right? Is adding anything at the start will be the easiest one, adding at the middle will be the easiest one, or adding at the end will be the easiest one? For the people who already know this, right, they would be saying that, sir, everything is easy, right? Nothing is important, nothing is difficult over here. But still, comparatively, what is easier to do, right? Adding something on the start is easy to do. Adding something in the middle or adding something at the end. What do you think? So let me reveal that for you. Is, suppose you want to add something at the end, right? What do you think? Is this directly available to you? Suppose the size is 4, right? Size over here is, sorry, size is 4 right now. The last index is 3, right? Can you write it this way? A4 and then some values. Can you write something like this? Let's try to see if that is possible for us or not. I would try to do A of 4 and I want to give it as maybe 5. What do you think? If I'll execute it, is this going to run properly? Let's see that. And let's also try to see, what's there at the array 4. Let's run it. And it's working, right? I hope you have seen this. It's that simple. In case you want to add something at the end, right, you can add it this way. But take one other example, right? Will this work exactly the same if I'm going to give a size over here? What do you think? Now this time I want you guys to tell me the answer. Will this going to be giving the same output, or now is this behaving like, will this behave like a different way and we would have some trouble handling it? To answer that, right, let's run it and let's see if this is going to work right or not. And it's still working, right? So just a minute, 1 2 3 4, it's there. Suppose I'd be writing 7 if I'll write this. Now there is some particular error that we are getting, right? The main thing is that whenever you are declaring an array, right, and you are saying that the numbers you are defining, you have defined a particular size of an array, right? So the thing is that you cannot change that at the runtime. Changing at the runtime means that you have told your browser, that you have told your compiler that I will be adding 4 elements only, and at the end you are saying that, dude, I want to push another array, I want to just push another value inside this. Sometime it would work. I don't know how it is working properly, or how it was working earlier properly, but it should not run, right? The thing is that whenever you want to add some extra values, right, and you have not told your array earlier that, suppose just take one example, that you are going for a trip and you have maybe, 4 seats in your maybe car or somewhere, right? And suppose at the end moment someone comes in and they say that, sir, or maybe brother, can I sit in, right? Can I join in along, right? You would say that no, you cannot, because you don't have that space in your what do you say, in your car or in your vehicle, right? So that's why whenever you want to add something, right, you want to fit something at the end, right, you have to maybe create the whole array one more time and then add one more space, or maybe you need to increase the size of this last seat, or you need to, add an extra vacant space so that you can fill that person out in the last space, right? So that is something we can do, right? But adding at the end is the simplest one, because nobody else has to move. Take one example that, there are some people standing in, there are amount of people, let me clear that out first of all. There is a group of people, sitting in a line, sitting in a line, and you want to say that, the line is continuing, it's going good and all, and somebody else want to sit at the end, right? So will the other people have to disturb? The answer is no, right? They can just come in and they can sit in the last spot, which is perfectly fine. But assume one other example wherein the line is exactly the same, right? But somebody wants to join in at the start, right? Now, what do you think? People are already seated in, right? Somebody else came in and they wanted to say that, sir, I wanted to sit at the start. Will there be any change over here in the arrangement? The answer is yes, there is going to be a change in the arrangement, right? What is that change that would be happening is that all the people who were sitting earlier, they have to shift by one position, right? This person has to go to the next seat. Again, this person has to go to the next seat. Similarly, this person to the next seat, and so on and so forth, right? Every person has to move, right? And they have to go to the next coming seat. Now, if you want to add something at the middle, something at the start, this is going to take some time, right? This is going to do, for that you have to do some operations, right? Some extra operations you have to do in this situation, right? What if, suppose another example I'll take, and maybe suppose, you would have this all normal seating capacity and you want another element to be seated in the middle, right? What do you think? Will this again require us to do some operation, or will this be done very normally? I hope you are understanding, right, what I'm trying to say. Is this making sense, guys, about adding any elements at the start, or adding any elements in the middle, or adding any elements at the at the end? You can give me a thumbs up, right, if that is all making sense. Yes, that's really cool. Now let's try to figure out that can we do something, right, adding new element to an array, right? Can we add something at the start? How can we add something at the middle, or how can we add something at the end, right? Let's see that, right? Let's start with the simplest one, that you have already existing array and you want to add something at the end. So how can you do that is, basically you have this size, right? You have this array and you want to push something at the end. Let me do one thing. Guys, one thing, can you do one thing? Can you iterate over the array and can you print the whole array for me instead of this just writing this normally array 0, array 1 and all? Can we do this? I hope all of you know about loops. Right. This is good, but I want to just print them using a loop, right? How can I do that? Is very simple. Yeah. Is I would use a loop and I would use an iterator, right? I would start from the zero. I would start from the 0 position and then I would go until this particular last index, right? How can I do that? Is very simple. I would use a for loop. I hope all of you are comfortable using a for loop now. I would keep the value of I and I will start it from 0 and then I will want to go till array. Now, I think we have seen this earlier also. Yes, exactly. How would we take the size? We would take a size using int n equals to the size of operator. Oops. I want to take the size of what? I want to take the size of array first of all, and then I want to divide it using size of one element. One element is, I can just simply take size of 0, and this will give me the size of the array. right? Until I am less than that, I should go on and I should be printing I plus plus. Inside this, I can just do this, right? Percentage n. Then just to print things out on the next line or just to give a space, I can write it this way, and this will get me printed my loops. Oh, okay, I should be writing I, right? And once I do this, all the numbers are getting printed very smoothly, right? That being said, let's try to add something at the end, right? How would you add something at the end? Obviously, whatever is the last element, right? You would try to print, you'll try to add something at the end. How would you do it? It's fairly simple, right? You can create something like this. You can create a new array, right? Now, just to tell you that, you would be asking, sir, why are we not directly adding at the last index, right? Why are we not writing this? Maybe this was the original size. So why are we not writing this array of n? And then are we not giving this as maybe 5, right? Why are we not doing this? Right? Let's do that. Let's see if this will work or not. The answer is it is working right now, but it is not. It is never considered a good practice to do something like this, because this time I don't know how it is managing it, but in other languages, right, it is definitely going to give you an error saying that array is not defined till that limit, right? So best thing that we would have to do is we have to create a copy of the array, right? And we have to create the copy of the array which is of size n plus 1, right? Because earlier the size was maybe 4, right? This time you want to add a new array, you want to add a new element, so you have to increase the size by 1, and then you have to add that element. How would you do that is you will create int b, and then you'll write what? You'll create size of n plus 1, and this is how you have just created another array for you, right? Now this size array, let me visualize it for you. Yes, now let me visualize it for you. Is that you would have an array, right? Suppose this is an array containing 4 values, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You want to create another array that would be, exactly size plus 1. So you have just copied the size of it. Suppose the size was 4. Now you have created an element of 5 size, right? And what would be your next task, guys? Your next task will be, first of all, copying the already existing element from here to the new array, right? And then adding your next element at the end. Isn't it? How many of you feel like, okay, that is something which we are understanding? Let's do that then, right? Let's iterate over here. And since we have got a new element created, I would do one thing for you, is that I would say, I want to populate the value of b index with the current index of I, right? And at the end, I should directly be, once that is copied, I should directly be printing the last value of n, right? That is the last value of b array with the new element, that is 5. Something like this I should be doing, right? This would make sure that my new array has got another element added, and that is added at the end, right? Let's do that. Let's quickly even print this value also, right? Let's print it here, and let's try to log the value. Let's try to print the value of b array. Print f, and let's do print percentage d. Where is percentage d? And then the value of b of I, right? Let's do that and let's see if that works right or not. Okay, we should be writing up till equals to, yeah. Yes, right? Now you can see that the values are added very easily. So that is how you can add at the end. Now, assume one example that you have to add something at the start. Can you do this? This is going to be something difficult, and not exactly difficult, but something different than what we have already done. Right. Now, can you tell me what the change is going to be like? I'll be just removing this, right? I'll just erase few stuff from here. Now, what we would be doing is, this time, suppose you want to add something at the start. I want to add 0 at the start. So I can say that, I would add 0 first of all, right, over here. And whatever was the original values, right, I would just shift them to by position 1. Suppose this was position number I, right, where this value is going to be now. This is going to be at the I plus 1 index. Again, if this is again I, then we should be placing it to I plus 1 index, right? I plus 1 index. Similarly, this I plus 1, if this is I, this should be going to the I plus 1 index, right? So the first thing is basically shifting your array, right? Shifting your elements. And then placing the 0th value and then placing the value at the 0th index, right? This is how we can place something at the starting point of your array. I hope that is making sense. Right? If that is making sense, let's quickly get this done, right? How would I do it is, it's going to be very simple now. I would say that obviously you have to create an array with this, which is n plus 1 size, right? That is a constant thing. Every time you are creating a new element, you have to increase the size of the array, right? We have just done it. And I would say that I would start from 0th index, right? And I would place the value at bth of I plus 1, right? This thing I'm doing, right? The value of a of I is going at which position on B array? Suppose this is your B array. If this is your B array, and this is your A array, right? Every value of I, which was at I position on A of array A, right? At what position it is going on the array of B? The answer is at every I plus 1 position, right? If this was I, it is going to I plus 1. If this was I, it is going to I plus 1. Similar thing like that, right? So I would say that one very thing, I can say that very smoothly, that, I should be placing the value of AI and that should be going to the B of I plus 1. Can I say this? I think yes, I can say this for sure. And it will place these values to the next index. And once that is done, right, we should be placing the value of 0 or maybe any other value at the starting point of this. Now, what would be the outcome? Just by changing the normal values, just by changing the previous value, we have just got the thing added at the start. Let's run this. And as you can see, yes, the value of 0 is just added on the start position. And then you have something like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? So that's how we can add something at the start. Now, moving ahead, right, from here, we have to discuss about the third condition. What was the third condition? Is adding something at the middle. Now, that is, again, little difficult, little different than what we have already done. The question is, how we also have to ask the user about the position from which you want to add something, right? We would ask the user that, dude, tell me the position from where you want to add something new. Let's do that. Let's try to visualize first of all, right? And this is going to be your challenge, right? This is going to be, a task for you. Can you do this? Can you imagine this? Or can you write a piece of code for that? Right? I'll give you the whole demonstration, the whole idea about how and what we'll be taking. The thing that we'll be doing is, suppose you'll have this array, again, the same array I'll be taking, 1, 2, 3, and 4. User gave you one number. User say that I would add something at the second index, right? 0, 1, 2. User want to add something at the second index. User want to add maybe minus 11 at the second index over here, right? So can you tell me what is the algorithm or what is the pseudo code for that, right? Can you tell me the steps that we have to follow in order to get this done? Now, I'll just give you some hints, right? Obviously, because we are here to tell you, is that we'll first have to go to this last index. We have to go to this particular index which the user has given. User has given the second index, right? I'll just do one thing, right? Maybe I'll go to the second index, right? And this time I'll not traverse from the starting index. Why I would not do that is, I would say that what if traveling from start index, I can go from the back index, I can go from the last index, and at every index which I'm going, if I'm going at this index, I'll be just shifting this to the next position. I'll just push it to the next position. Say that, okay, I'll vacant this situation, I'll vacant this place, and then I'll push 4 at the last index. An index above, an index ahead of that, right? Okay, that is added. That's really good, right? What next is I would say that, chalo, that's added. Now this place is free. So I would have to place this value to the next index, right? I'll just move over here and I'll just push this value back over here, right? What is the updated condition now? The updated condition is that we have 4 at the last index, we have 3 over here. And since this is deleted, right? This is deleted, I'm assuming, right? So this place is vacant now for us. Right? We have to do this step unless and until we reach the index that which the user has given us. Yep, exactly. So after going over here, right, we have this place empty. Now we can ask we can take the user's input and then we can place it over here, right? We can simply place -11 over here, and then we would have an updated array of 1, 2, -11, 3, and 4, right? This is how we can push something in the middle. I hope you are trying to, you are getting the idea about it, right? That how an insertion at end, at start can also happen. Right? Chalo, let's quickly try to code this also, right? Because I feel like mostly you'll be able to do it, but still for the simplicity, let's do that. Yeah, I would do one thing that, I would go over here and I will start from the size from n-1 this time, the last index, and until we reach that is equals to less than equals to, the user will also give us the position, int position equals to, let's say that we want to change something at the second index. If something is equals to position index, this is what I'm doing is I'm just starting, I am traversing from the back now, traversing from the last index. Right, I'm just traversing from the last index, and I'll be stopping at and stopping till we reach the position index, right? Because we have to stop at this position, right? Because we don't have to shift the numbers before that. Do we need to shift the numbers of 1 and 2 also? What do you think? I don't think we need to shift the numbers, because only space that we have to make is at till this position point, right? Once we are here, we have made the position, then we can let go of things, right? We can just say that, we can copy the normal things from ahead and then we can paste something like this, right? Also, one more thing is that we have to do one thing, that we have to traverse from the start, and we have to copy the values directly like 1, 2, 3 also, right? So let's also do that. I would say same for loop I'll write. Just that I'll start from the 0. I minus will also happen. I start from 0. I'll go until we are less than n, right? And I plus plus, that is good. Every B element should be, no, not till this 0. We have to go till we reach the position index, right? And we have to place every value of A to the every value of B. That's it, right? What am I saying is that we will start from here, right? We'll start from here, right? We'll say that, okay, until and unless we reach the second position, every value of this should be copied into B normally, right? Just like that. If we are till this point, that means ki half of the array is copied, right? Half of the array we have just duplicated it. Now it's the time that we go from behind the scenes, right? We go from last index and then we populate this array, right? So that being said, right, our this position is done. First, copying initial element is done. Copying front elements is done, right? And now copying front element is done. After that, we can say that starting from this, B of I plus 1 should be A of I. Can we say this? Every value of I should go at the B. Yeah, we can say that every value of this should go at this. And yes, if that is done, we can place the value of B, position pay. We can place the value of whatever the user has given, right? We can write something like this. I hope that is making sense, that what I have just done. It is almost similar to just using the adding at front position, because eventually what you are doing is eventually you are shifting the arrays back to the 1 plus 1 position, right? Whatever was their initial position, just shift them to +1 position. That's it. Right, let's execute it and let's see that if that works or not. Okay, I think there is some mistakes that we have done. It says that I is declared but not defined. Just a minute. We have done something wrong. First use in the system. The first error that we are having is unexpected comma or okay, we have to give this also, right? Sorry, I'm doing too many of errors. Yes, now that is working, right? Can you see this? 1, 2, minus 11, 3 and 4. This is exactly what we wanted. Now that is how we can add something at the start. Yes, right? Not start but at the middle, right? Just go through this one time, right? And let's see that if you have any questions over there. Yeah, I have added that. So sorry, guys. See, I generally code in JavaScript, right? In JavaScript, you don't have any such restrictions that you have to add a semicolon or something. Anyways, I'll not flaunt much about me coding into JavaScript. I'll just let it, let it be over here. Now, you can quickly go through the code and you can also see the demonstration that we have given you. And in case you feel like you are good with that, let me know. Next up, we'll be seeing that how can you search an element in an array. Right? Because adding is done, right? Adding, I don't think is much difficult. Right? Quickly give me a thumbs up, guys, if things are making sense. All right. Let's see. Now, before you say that, sir, that's really good, but we have not seen how you can delete some stuff, right? Now, if we have discussed about how you can add some things, I'm damn sure that you can also tell how you can delete something, right? Let's quickly, first of all, discuss deletion part, right? Let's quickly go over there. I'll not give you all the demonstration, right? I'll not tell you about all three cases. I'll just give you one example of how you can delete from the very front index, right? In case you know how you can delete from the front index, everything else is easy for you, right? You also know how to delete from back. You also know how to delete something from the middle. See, every time you are deleting something, right, you have to manually check. You have to just build this logic that, okay, if this is going to be deleted, what elements are going to be shifted on left, right, here and there. You have to tell that, right? You have to see that also. Let's see how can that be done. Again, let's take the same example that we will be having an array 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, let's see that I want to maybe remove 1 from here, right? Let's see that I want to remove this from the array, right? I just want to get this deleted. How can I do this? Can you give me some ideas? Can you give me some, rough flow chart or rough algorithm? How should we proceed with it? So what if I tell you that, what if I move all of these elements one step ahead? I'll just move it one step ahead. My element would eventually get deleted. How my element will get deleted is 2 will replace over here, 3 will replace over here, 4 will replace over here. That's it. I have just shortened my array, right? And that's how I can delete my array, right? My 1 is automatically replaced because you have seen this. If your variable is holding any value, right? If your variable was holding 1 before and you just passed it to 2 now 1 is gone, right? 1 is gone forever. So this is what you can do, and this is how you can make your array, how you can make anything go deleted in your array, right? Does that make sense? I hope that made sense, right? Now, for the minute, right, I'll not be coding that for you because this is something I want to do. I want you to try that on your side because generally what I feel is spoon feeding everything is not a good idea, right? So I've given you the example of how you can add something from at any position. I think you would be that much capable now of just trying these things out, right? And don't worry, this the solution code of that, we will add that into the description link, right? You can view this recording later on, right? Once you are done with this streaming, once we are done with the streaming, right? And you can match your solution over that, right? And let me tell you one thing also, that in coding, it's not that every any solution that you will be doing, right, that you can do using one code only, right? There could be multiple solution to one code, right? To one solution. Suppose I want to get something added, right? I can get things added into multiple ways, right? So as far as your code is working, it is performing the task, right? Your code is correct, right? So that's something you can do. And in case you feel like I'm not comfortable writing the syntax, you can just write some pseudo code, or you can just write some algorithm that how it should work, right? Sure. That being said, right, we can move ahead with the searching discussion, that how can you search something from an array, right? Let's do that. How can you search something from an array? Now, array searching is a very interesting concept. It's a very, also it's sometimes very asked in question in interviews also, that you have a value to search from an array, right? One thing is, a very basic thing is a linear search, right? Linear search means that suppose you have to search for a particular person, and the particular person is standing in a line. So how would you do is, you would go from the front, right? You would go from the starting, and you will keep on looking for that person. You will check the first person if that is the person that you're looking for or not. If not, then you'll move ahead with the next question, with the next person, right? And then you'll check that if that is the person that you were looking for or not, right? So on and so forth, right? You'll just keep on going and going. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute, guys. I'm having a little trouble into my chats. Yeah, as I was saying, that you'll first of all take the first person, compare it, right? Then you'll move to the next person. Similarly, you'll go to the next person, compare it, and then move to the next person. Similar things like that, right? This is how a linear search is going to go, right? I was talking about linear search. Oops. This is an array. Let's create a better array. You have to search for a value, maybe suppose say that k, right? And there are different sets of value. You have to you have to make sure that if k exists on this array or not. So how will you make sure that is, you'll just iterate over there normally, right? You'll go to this index, you'll say that if this is equals to k or not. Again, moving to next index, if that is equals to k or not. Same stuff, back and forth, again and again, unless you have traversed your whole array, right? In case you have traversed the whole array, right? What can you conclude? You can conclude that, dude, I have traversed the whole array. I have not found any k. That clearly means there is no k in the whole array, right? And that's how you can conclude it. In case you found k in any of the intermediate stages, what can you conclude? You can conclude that, okay, k was present and k was present at this index. Let's try to code this solution, right? Let's try to code this approach out. And I'll be removing this code, right, already, because, this is going to be, else this will be too much of the code, right, to see. I'll just remove it, and I'll be adding some random stuff now. I'll be adding maybe, some random numbers, -1, 30, 111, 43, and 50, something like this, right? I'll just do it, right? And now I'll ask you to find maybe 4 for me. Can you do this, guys? Can you find out 4 from here, from this whole array? Let's try to see that. Let's try to first of all loop over this for int I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and then if array of I is equals to, I have to find for k, right? If that is equals to 4, then what should I do? Should I print this, or should I return out of here from directly like this? I think I should directly be printf. I should directly be printf doing that, and I should be saying that found the element at, now you should be telling the position at where you found it, right? You found the position at I index, and that's how you can do it, right? In case this is not the case, right, you could say that, you didn't found the array, right? you didn't find that particular element. If I'll execute it, can you see this? Now, since like coincidentally 4 was at present at fourth index, right? Let's do that. Maybe let's check for -1 this time, right? This time I'll have a different opinion. I'll have a different answer. When we talk about this into what do you say? We need to talk about this into arrays and into searching. Just a minute. I lost my connection for a minute. Anyways, so there's another popular thing that goes around here. That is something called as binary search, right? Now, binary search itself is a very great topic. It's a very interview friendly topic, right? I'll just give you the algorithm. I'll just give you the working of it right now, right? And we'll have a discussion on that. I mean, in this bootcamp, we cannot do this discussion because this is itself a very interesting topic to discuss. We need a couple of more time, and you need to have practice about the previous stuff before we reach over here. But yeah, in binary search, what happens is the first thumb rule or the first condition to implement a binary search is we need to have a sorted array, right? We need to have a sorted array. Once we have a sorted array, then what would you do next is that you would say that suppose you have a number to search for, maybe 10, and the array is sorted from 0 till 20. Maybe let's take a shorter example. Let's say that you have an array starting from 1 and the numbers go till 10, and you have to search for 5, or maybe let's search for 3, right? What would you do is you'll divide your array into two equal parts. You'll say that 1 2 3 4 5, something like this, and you'll first of all find the middle index. Right? I'm just explaining this. Don't worry, guys. Right? It is just a part of me explaining. I don't expect you to know this fully, but just to spark a conversation on that, I'm just having this conversation. Right? Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'll also be sharing the attendance link within 1 minute. Right? Yeah. Let me also share that for you in case you guys want it. Right now, let me share it. So this is basically the attendance link, right? You can mark your attendance over here. All right. Now, continuing back to the discussion about the binary search, right? Is that first of all, you'll find the middle index, right? What there is a middle index. Now you will compare it and you'll check that, okay, that's really good. But if that is equals to the number or the element that I was looking for, right, then you'll search for it. Right. If that is the number, if that is exactly the number, then you'll directly return that, okay, I found this element over here. If not, then comes the interesting discussion is, the array is sorted, right? And this for sure that, if the array, the middle element is larger than, right? If the middle element is larger than the number that you're searching for, then there is no chance that you ever be going to find this number on the right hand side, isn't it? Because your array is sorted, right? If suppose, let's take one example. Let me clear all of this. Let me try to explain this in a little nice manner. You have a number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, right? And you say that I'm looking for 3, and what is the middle index over here? The middle index is 5, right? Middle index is 5, and in this you want to check that you want to search for 3, right? So if you are over here, is there any possibility that you would ever find 3 in the right hand side? What do you think? Yes or no? No, right? There is not at all possibility of having this on the right hand side. Just a minute. Is there? Yeah. So that's why we will limit our shift and we'll say that, dude, I don't need to look out on the right hand side. Rather, we should be looking on the left hand side. And what we have effectively done is that at every stage, we are reducing our search to half, right? Suppose if I am doing a linear search, I have to search for all the elements, right? In this case, binary search me every stage, maybe I'm just reducing my search to half. That is why we call this as binary search, right? Binary means 2. So we'll divide our array into 2 parts, and then we will decide that on which part should we go. Should we go on the left hand side or should we go on the right hand side? So in this case, we have to search 3, right? So there is no possibility of having 3 on the right hand side. That's why we'll continue our discussion, or we'll continue our search on the left hand side, right? So that's how you'll be, then you'll again repeat the same process. You'll again find out the middle element and then you'll go ahead with it. I'm not going into the complexities of how this will be implemented, but just giving you an idea about it. right? I'm damn sure that you guys will be interested into this, right? You can read more about this in the upcoming blog. And if you guys show us more interest, and one big thing is that I want to, which I forgot totally telling you, is that we guys also have our, what do you say, our C bootcamp, our C complete course, right? You can find that on the edspread.in. In case you are more interested into knowing more about it, right, you can refer over here and you can find out about the courses, right? Yeah, these are the live courses that we run, and this is also about the pre-recorded courses that we have run, right? And you can see that it has got some decent amount of study materials. Everything is at your pace. We have got projects. We have got all these completion certificates ready with you. In case you are interested, you can definitely have a look on that. Anyways, we discussed the binary search, right, in a very quick and paced up manner, right? And now that is basically for this class content, right? Because if we go more into more complex discussion and all, right, you guys would lose interest also. And since we have a limited time, so that's why this is all the content that we have to discuss for class. Now we will meet tomorrow, and whatever information that we have gathered from here till the sixth day, right, we'll be making a project out of it, right? A simple project it will be. Don't worry, it will not be a too much difficult project. It will be just a simple project, right? And it's just that, whatever we have sum up, right, whatever we have learned, we'll just conclude that within a project, right? So yeah, that being said, right, that's all from my side. In case you have any quick questions to ask, you can let me know. And if everything is clear, you can give me a quick thumbs up so that we can call this a day and we can end our discussion right now. Yeah, so Gopika, today we will not be having a live quiz we will not be having, right? Because due to some other reasons, right, we could do 2 days of quiz only, right? So that's now, right? We don't have a quiz right now, but definitely in the next boot camp we'll try to we'll try to increase the frequency, right? So that we can do more live quizzes, right? Yeah, and all right. Today we'll not be having a quiz. Yeah, don't worry. From the upcoming bootcamp, we could try to do more such quizzes. Yeah. So that's all. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. We'll also, tomorrow I hope you'll also tune in for the last day of this session, right? And wherein we'll be building something and we'll be having a quiz at the end of this, at the end of the last session, right? So that's all from my side. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys, right? And yeah, I hope I made you fall in love with C at least, right? At least made you curious about knowing more about C. So yeah, that's all. Bye bye, tata, everyone, and have a very good day.